Hey everybody, welcome to Trading the Close. My name is Gareth Soloway and I'm here with VerifiedInvesting.com to go over all the key technicals, the trades of the day, lots of key details today on a very interesting Monday. All right, so first and foremost, we saw the markets opening higher, running on the back of good semiconductor news coming out of Foxconn and out of Asia. Very, very good numbers from Foxconn in terms of revenue, and that really kick-started the rally in the overnight on names like NVIDIA, Micron, and many, many others. Now, the kicker here was it was added to by Trump's administration, incoming administration, talking about being very selective on tariffs, not just blanketing tariffs across the board because they are worried about inflation. So it shows that the administration, the incoming administration, is very keen on keeping inflation low. That's another positive for the markets. Now, having said that, this morning in the game plan, I said, well, let's watch and see. Can the markets hold their gains? Well, they're going to end positive, but certainly we saw a big rollover in the second half of the day. Let's go take a look at the numbers here today as we get into the charts. We can see the Dow is actually down fractionally about 22 points. The NASDAQ is trading up 225 points. A majority of that is the semiconductor sector. The S&P up about 35 points or just under 0.6%. Oil trading down here. Now, this is the kicker on oil, guys. Remember, I gave you guys the level where I was going to short. I said $75 a barrel. Well, guess what? It kissed today, $75 a barrel. With members of Smart Money, Commodities, and Miners, I got the short off by buying SCO, which is a 2X USO or oil short. So we are on the short side here already, trading back from 75 back to 73. So already in the money very, very nicely on that. Gold today, just a small downtick here on gold as risk assets saw money flow. So remember, gold is risk off. When people get scared, they go into gold. So it generally pulls back when the markets go up, which they are up today. And Bitcoin, a classic risk asset, up about 4%. Remember the analysis. Remember, there's a megaphone pattern with upside to about 104,000. So we're still underneath that. We'll take a look at that chart in just a minute. Here's that fade I'm talking about. So markets, again, this is the intraday S&P 500. We can still very clearly see that we're still in the green today. But look, early in the day, there was all this robust buying to the upside. And then once we got to about noon, it just died out. And the markets began to fade. And they faded pretty much all afternoon, coming all the way back down, still net positive on the day. But again, do you think it's mom and pops taking profits here? Do you think it's John Q. Public unloading into the end of the day? I doubt it. I think, again, especially with the news today on inflation, on the tariff side, as well as the semiconductors, you generally probably had money flow coming from the sidelines into the market. And again, that tells me there's someone unloading or entities unloading into the afternoon. Again, not a strong day. Now, yes, you're going to hear the headlines. The headlines, the S&P up, the NASDAQ, very strong day. But when you look at the internals of the market, this is not a great day. A great day would have been up and then at least kind of sideways to up into the end of the day, closing near the highs of the day. When you close near the lows of the day, and I say lows because really this was your lowest point, so you are basically at the lows of the day, even though net positive, that is not a strong showing for the markets. All right, let's go into a couple other key charts here as we get into things. Again, some of the big gainers today, take a look at Micron Technology, up about 10.5% on the day. No short here yet, but tomorrow with traders in the Apex Live day trading room, I'm going to watch this gap fill at around 104. Major gap fill. If we push up again, there might be a technical day trade short right there. There should be some good resistance. If we zoom out, you can see that again, Micron's basically been consolidating in a pattern here. So let's remove that day trading line here and just look at this. What type of pattern is this, guys? All right, let's look at it robustly here. If we have a down move, here's your flagpole, and then all this sideways chop. What type of pattern is that? Well, we generally know that is more than likely a bearish pattern that could yield a break to the downside down the line. So even though we've had a nice pop on Micron, I don't look at this chart and say, wow, that's a bullish chart. It's actually not. In fact, on a swing basis, this actually is a negative chart where you'd start to look at shorting. The gap fill is a swing trade all the way up to this level. Your stop would be just above based on confirmation. NVIDIA today, a nice little move here to the upside. If we flip over to the daily chart, you can see same thing with NVIDIA, quite a bit off of its highs. Yeah, it's still up nicely, but again, off of its highs of the day here. And again, stalling right below its previous all-time high. This will be one I watch very closely into the next couple days. All right, couple other things going in motion today. There were a bunch of movers and shakers. Rigetti, all those computing stocks, they saw early big moves to the upside, although a lot of them did kind of fade towards the second half of the day with the overall markets. Overall, we traded a bunch. I think we had 8 or 9 trades in the Apex Live day trading room, so that was great. But let's go over Bitcoin. I really want to focus on Bitcoin today and a few of these other movers. So here's your Bitcoin chart. Let's go over to the big board and take a look. What do we see here? All right, so this is your megaphone pattern, right? So you have your 2 lines that are diverging, creating that megaphone pattern. Now, if we've been following along and trading the closes, we know that this line here is your resistance. It was here resistance, right here, each time rejecting price. So the idea is it should reject price again. That's what you would expect as the highest probability move. Doesn't mean it has to do that, of course. It's just that's the most likely scenario. All right, so we still have a little upside here. It's right around 104,000. That would be your short-term target, and then we have to watch to see what price does. Down here, we have a very clear line at 92,000. So resistance, support, and yes, it's been a great little move from 92 to 102, but it's still within resistance and support areas. So again, keep that in mind. If we break above 104, where are we going? Your double top at 108. If that breaks, you have 115 up here as your next level. It's this extended line. You just can't see it on the chart, but that would be your upside level. So you'll see a lot of hype out there and everything like that, but in reality, when we're looking at the charts and we're following the data still tells us we're within this range of variability where price can go up and down and up and down. And really, you would have to break above this to start to say, okay, now we're breaking out above 108, above 104 in that range and seeing that next leg to the upside. All right, a couple other charts to just quickly go over here. Let's look at gold today, which didn't do a whole lot when all was said and done. It did hold this technical level right here. So again, just keeping an eye on that. Gold basically flattish to slightly lower. And then silver today, eking out a gain, but still, look at how it pushed above this bearish consolidation, but then by the end of the day, it was brought right back in. Now, oil's the fun one here, right? Because this, again, were levels that we talked about. So let's go to the big board and just look at this real quick. In terms of oil, this is what we discussed happening. I said, this is your first target right here at 73. I said, I'm not going to short there, though. It's not a high enough risk reward, meaning that the downside is somewhat limited. It needs to get higher to give me that elasticity that gives me a good drop. So what was my next level? Right here at 75. Look at the line. Literally hit that almost to the penny today, right there. That's your short, and you can already see the results coming on the chart of oil. All right, now again, does that mean that that's the high and it's not going to go higher? No. Frankly, I don't know. Maybe it's going to go higher. That's why I start with a small short position so I can dollar cost average up here if need be. So it's always, again, a good trader is always thinking 2 steps ahead and saying, well, I'm not going to always be right, and sometimes I'll be wrong. So how do I maneuver? How do I protect myself? And that's the difference between retail newbies versus a pro. Is a pro has been smoked enough, right? We've been hammered enough, we've been humbled enough by the market to always be defensive. Every time we get into a trade, you know, if you're in the Apex Live day trading room, a lot of you guys are probably that are watching, you know that we're not going in with a full position starting. Sometimes we go in with a 1/10 of a portfolio position. Heck, on something like Rigetti, sometimes 1/20th, because we're always fully aware that that stock could blow right through our short or long level and we'd have to maneuver. And the maneuverability is number one when it comes to a profitable trader. You got to be able to maneuver. As soon as you lose that maneuverability, you're handcuffed and you can't do anything anymore. You're at the mercy of the market, and you know what you result to? Hopes and prayers. And that does not go over well with the stock market, trust me, or the crypto market or anything else. All right, lastly, folks, natural gas, which had that big fall last week from the highs, 21% drop from the highs. Today, rebounding 7%. Nothing really to do here, but what we do see is a very clear parallel. So we know our resistance line, we know our support. Generally upsloping parallels break to the downside eventually. So if you get a good bear flag here, we could actually short that to the downside. Needless to say, we do not have that just yet. All right, guys. So Today, an intriguing day. We saw some market action early to the upside, very strong price action, but by the end of the day, the market's giving back a good chunk of those gains. That kicks us into tomorrow. We'll get the JOLTS number, I think around 10 a.m. That's job openings. We're going to start to get into earnings season over the next couple weeks, and we get the jobs data later this Friday. As always, folks, it's a pleasure. I'm going to actually turn over the camera here to Lawton, who's going to take you through something very, very important. So stay tuned. I'll talk to you soon. Take care.
Hey guys, I hope you guys have been enjoying the videos that we've been doing about Legacy Academy. And I have another great one for you guys today. Take a look. Hey guys, so we're back again with another video. I'm going to take this lesson called The Evolution of Business Mindset. So let's go ahead and get into it. I'm going to do my best to do this matching game. And it looks like I got it. All right, I finished this mini game. It only took me a minute to complete here, but I got some XP, and if I calculated right, we should be leveling up here. There we go. Okay, so awesome. I'm leveled up. So it looks like I'm ranked 158 right now with 40 XP on the daily leaderboard. Let's see if I can't get it up. We'll see you in the next video. I mean, guys, I hope you're having as much fun as I'm having using Legacy Academy. If you haven't checked it out yet, go ahead and check it out. Check out Legacy Academy on our website, Verified Investing. Scroll all the way to the bottom and learn more about how you can earn while learning. With that, that's it from us here at Verified Investing. I hope you guys have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Take care, guys.